Welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff, your Saturday morning hobby hangout coming to you live from our hibernation. And now we're back. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is Jeff.
Yes, they've lifted the quarantine, and I'm allowed to go out in public now.
Well, that's a plus, but online you don't have a quarantine. Good morning, Joe.
Well, along with quarantine, there was heavy sedation and just no energy whatsoever. And I have to say, now through the entire pandemic and the shutdown and the years after, I have kept up with my COVID vaccinations. Never had COVID. Never tested positive for COVID. And then COVID, in its infinite wisdom, decided to show me what I was missing.
They're like, hey, you didn't get to experience this the way we feel you should have experienced this. We want to give you the full Monte.
Yeah.
Let me infect you with the COVID.
So. Well, it was sneaky. It started with the flu or some other kind of viral infection. And I felt bad.
Like the flu. That's those flu-like symptoms.
Well, no, I didn't have COVID initially, but I was sick. And I went to urgent care and they tested me for strep, which is what I thought I was exposed to. And they tested me for COVID. Both came back negative. I go back to work. I'm at work 2 days and test positive for COVID because someone there got COVID. They shut the office down for COVID. And it was just, it's just been a roller coaster. And I'm 5 weeks in and I'm still like, oh. Yeah.
I am sure I've had COVID a few times. I've just never been tested.
I had a daughter that is in the medical profession, and I was tested constantly.
I bet.
If I went in public, she's like sticking a swab up my nose.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you back.
I'm glad to be back, although it might be partially.
Yeah, we'll take a partial Jeff, then no Jeff.
Yeah, I take a partial Jeff too. I've gotten way too much.
Me and Andy have been busy at the house. Andy has decided to purge her crafting business stuff. So you know this, and I'm sure others know this. For a while there, Andy was making custom wreaths and selling them at craft shows and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like that. And she had amassed a bunch of materials for making custom wreaths, but then doing it legally, doing it correctly with tax stamps and tax licenses and all that, it made it very hard to do because the government can't make things easy for people. So she decided to purge all of her stuff. So we took down a bunch. We took like totes after tote after tote down to Goodwill. They got sick of seeing us because we're dropping off, and it's all Christmas stuff after Christmas. So
yeah.
But that's given me my garage back. Good morning, Don.
Morning, Don.
I've got the garage back because all of her Christmas stuff fits up on the overhead shelves, and it kind of cleared up a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And now, yesterday, I built a gorilla rack. So I went over to Costco, got myself a heavy-duty gorilla rack so that I can tear down this old wooden shelving unit that I made myself because I made like a corner shelving unit. I made a very unique shelving unit for a very unique corner of my garage.
Cool.
Tear that thing down. I got a new gorilla rack in there. We're throwing everything away. I've got a mountain of stuff I still need to throw away and take over to Goodwill. And it feels good. It feels good to just let go of all the crap. So,
JP, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, JP, what's up? Glad you boys are right. Well, so are we.
I'm still wondering if I'm not the beginning of the next zombie film. But I still don't feel 100%, but I'm back.
Well, I've been watching a lot of zombie movies, so I'll look out for you. So anyway, so we've been just getting rid of stuff, just why I hold on to things. Why does anybody hold on to things that they know that are garbage, like parts and pieces from project? I'm like, just garbage. So I'm just purging.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. Is because I will keep. If I finish building a kit and there's 2 little pieces on it that I didn't use for whatever reason, I keep it.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of that process now too, just kind of going. I got models packed up everywhere. it's just been a nightmare. And between being sick for the last 5 weeks, no energy whatsoever. So yesterday I started cleaning and organizing because, as I told you before, the whole as you guys know, the drama has been my life because I went at the beginning of 2024. I'm going to buy a car, and then my life kind of spiraled into this hell. I found that there is a 10th level of hell. It's called when you decide to buy a used car. And it spiraled me down. And but anyway, during that whole process, I realized that I had run out of storage space for all the stuff I got going on. So I found a curio cabinet really cheaply. This is months ago. I mean, at least 5. And then the transmission thing started happening, and life started getting weird, and I completely spaced it, and it showed up this week. I had completely forgot about it, and I think that should be part of the Alzheimer's test: is have you ordered something and then completely forgot you ordered it?
Oh, that's funny.
I fall into that category, and so I built it, started putting the stuff in I want because it's a lovely display curio cabinet. It's cheap, made of bamboo. It's not the best made thing, but it actually does what I need it to do. So yesterday I began cleaning and organizing, and I'm going to spend probably the rest of today finishing that up, and then I'll get back into painting full time. Morning, David.
Yeah. And, Don said this. He said Don went through the same thing where his wife almost divorced him. Though my wife's encouraging this. Yeah. Where he cleared out all of his stuff for moving. And that's something when you move homes, you do that. You just purge crap. Like you just do it. Yeah. Terrible time to buy a car, worse to buy a used car.
Yeah, especially Well, I remember when I was just living in that little condo unit in Arizona. When I went to move back to back to Maryland, and it was like I'm packing. Where did this come from? How did I get so much stuff? So,
well, I'm going to hit my hobby room after the garage is done. I'm going to save the hobby room for the summertime. But I look up and it's like, why do I have all these empty pill bottles? Like
because you and I both. Oh, look, we can store stuff in that.
I know, but why do I hold on to all this crap? So I'm just throwing crap away. I'm purging. I guess it's the new year, new me type bullshit. Excuse my language, but you know how it is. So I'm purging stuff.
I look at it as new year, old me, new attitude.
I like that. New year, old me, new attitude. I like that. I still have some stuff Jeff gave. I remember when we cleared out your house, dude.
Oh God, it was insane.
It was all hobbies. Like we were packing up your U-Haul, and like there's some furniture and some kitchen stuff, but mostly it was hobby stuff.
It was all hobby stuff.
It was so much hobby stuff.
Well, when I moved from Arizona to go to Games Workshop back in '97, we had a U-Haul, we had my minivan, and they were both loaded front to back, and we brought this stuff up, and we stopped in Ohio, and we unloaded the U-Haul, and put that all in storage. And then I went from Ohio onto Glen Burnie to start my job, and then the family was going to follow me once I got established. And I remember I was driving a little Mazda, and I had a suitcase, normal size suitcase in the front seat of the car. And this little hatch
going to fit in a Mazda.
But the hatch from the back seat at the hatchback to the back of the hatch was just full of boxes, and it was all hobby stuff, and it was all metal.
Oh God! So your car's like scraping the ground.
Yeah, it was like holy cow! And I unload, and they're like, "Did you bring clothes?" Oh yeah, that's the suitcase up front. And it was horrible. I have moved many times in my life, and probably 60% of stuff I moved is my hobby stuff.
Yeah,
no, it's crazy.
Well, I'm gonna do some purging in my room. Just throwing away stuff, getting rid of stuff, just streamlining things, and then, like always, I find something new that I like.
Oh no!
Yeah,
where's that?
That always hurts. So my buddy Jason, sorry, I helped him do some stuff at his house. I always help him out. Like he lives down the street. He's like, "Hey, Mike, I need you to hold a thing up so I can nail it in." And
right.
I go over and I help him out. Well, he found. So you remember I sent you a bunch of those tune tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
I love those things. Absolutely.
Yeah, they make die cast ones.
Is this the new Hot Wheel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 4 in the box, but they make wonderful grot tanks for Warhammer 40K, which
Oh yeah, this is the secret project you were talking about.
well, I'm working on. It's not a secret if you tell people it's a secret.
You told me that like a week ago. I didn't realize what they were though.
Yeah, so I've you can swap out the turrets, and I've made a little grot tank. It's a terrible lighting, but I made this little grot tank. I'm taking 40K bits. Okay, those are awesome. They are awesome.
They are
They
awesome.
fit grots because the problem. I love the grot tanks from Forge World. I have them. I think they're great. I took a bunch of the tune tanks and did a bunch of conversion to make grot tanks out of them, but I felt they were just a little too big. And I'm like, they're cool. I like them. I had fun making them. They were a good project,
Right.
but I felt they were a little too big. These are perfect. And because you can swap it, because the turrets are all just screwed in with a screw. So I can take this turret, which is for the Russian, I forget the Russian model tank, the big Russian tank, but I can put it on. I can put it on a Sherman chassis.
That's the KV2.
Yeah, KV2. I can put it on a Sherman chassis just as easily as I can put it on its regular chassis, which it comes with, or I can put it on the old cast Sherman chassis. So it's got the Sherman chassis, cast Sherman chassis with the rounded corners.
You do know, and I'm just because I know that sometimes you're not in tune with the world. We have a Discord, and they make these things called cameras.
Yes.
And you can take photos, so you don't have to hold it up to your webcam.
I want to finish one first.
It's called a work in progress, Mike, which is what you just did.
I just did my work in progress. Okay,
yeah,
so
but
there
you
you go.
taken some pictures. We could have showed them nice and clearly with decent lighting. Missed as much. This is the part I find amazing. As much prep work as you sometimes go into for the show, you could have just snapped a few pictures.
Anywho,
this is the last What's New with Mike and Jeff because I just offended.
So when I get into so here I am, I'm purging, throwing stuff, right. And then I find this. So I went out and bought 2 more boxes of the tanks so I can make a grot tank fleet as whip.
I do it all the time.
So I can make a grot tank fleet. But they're just the perfect size. I just love them because grot tanks shouldn't be big. They should be small. They should be like little, blow them up quick. I don't even know if grot tanks are in the codex anymore.
I have no idea.
Well, because they kind of switched over to more of that feral orc with all the squigs and stuff like that. So I have no idea. I don't know, but
you could adapt them for Gaslands.
I could use them for Gaslands. So. Okay. So anywho, just they are actually a great size for Gaslands because they the tanks that Hot Wheels makes has to fit the package and all that. So they're kind of not like a tank that the tanks that they sell are the same size as like a Chevy truck. It's like, well, that don't work. These are just slightly bigger, would be perfect for Gaslands for tanks because our tank rules for Gaslands. So anywho,
there you go. Perfect solution.
Don is David Hummel. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Dave?
So just that's a little side project, but that had to be kind of put on hold a little bit because Jason also gave me all of his Imperial Assault Rebel Force to paint. So we're trading. You remember the dungeon thing that I painted up, the little square? Yeah. He's printing me a metric ton of that stuff. So in return, I'm painting up his Imperial Assault Army.
All right. So let me make sure I understand this thing that's going on right now. You're purging. This is my psychologist pose.
I love this.
So you're purging stuff from your life,
Uh-huh.
but bringing more in. So effectively what you're doing is you're bailing the sinking ship by pouring it from the aft to the bow.
Yes. Isn't that why we purge to make more room for more stuff?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
So as long as we're all on the same page.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I find that fascinating is that might explain my problem. Because I for a long time stopped doing the purging part and just kept bringing stuff in. So
I agree with Jeff. Would never be able to post pictures. My stuff is forever with me. Can I jump for a while?
yeah. All right, just real quick. You see this case right here?
The GW case.
That beautiful gift that my staff got me from GW. That used to have my painted stuff in it.
Yeah.
Well, because I've just amassed so much stuff that I've emptied that and put it in a new cabinet up front, which I'll have pictures of next week. That now holds all my work in progress stuff.
Good morning, Jim. How are you, buddy?
Or what I actually prefer to call it is stuff I'm never going to get to.
So, well, that's probably where my grot tanks are going to go. I'm having a lot. I like converting.
I'm the same way.
But the new GW range, you can convert it. It's just a little bit. It's not the same. It's just not the same.
I'm running into that right now with a team kill team commission I've got. Is he gave me the way the weapons when it broke down. It used to be you could build pretty much any way you wanted.
Right.
Now pretty much everything fits together as it's supposed to, but you have to modify. And so I had to. I'm behind on it simply because of the fact that one box of them wouldn't do what he needed them to do as far as how I wanted it configured.
Right.
And B, 2 boxes, I still have to convert things. But I'm still cutting and trimming and trimming and cutting. And it's a nightmare because GW used to be all about the conversion.
Right.
And I think I understand why, because the way their models go together now and they look so fantastic and dynamic. A, there are less conversions going on. And B, that it's just different.
Well, I'm not negative about it. I like the look of the new GW models. They hide the seams well. They do. Like, I remember building old GW models, and we were in there with epoxy sculpt, and we're filling in gaps, and we're doing all this. Just even when it's an arm onto a torso, you're filling in gaps, and you're doing all this other stuff. So I appreciate the new look of the models. When I look at the old monopose models that we used to build and paint and thought were the best thing on the face of the earth, and I look at these new models, I'm like, I like the new stuff. However, I'm still old grognard guy that likes to chop things up, cut himself. That's why I have a bottle of liquid skin at my hobby desk. Highly recommend. I put it on my finger and it didn't help.
Well, no, you said you like to cut things up, and that's why I can only do that. That's as far as that finger goes. It will not do the whole close thing because I cut all the tendons.
That's as far as this one goes.
Always got to one up me. I can't bend my finger. You're going, hey, I don't even have one.
But for me, I keep a bottle of liquid skin at my desk because I constantly cut myself. I'm
same way.
So it's just how I am. But I do like doing the conversions. I think conversion work is a lot of fun. What's they say?
Stuff I'm not going to get to sounds like my entire army.
Yeah. Most of us.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why Gaslands, I think, became such a huge part of my life when Tim introduced it to me, and I was like, dude, I started a YouTube channel on it. We were streaming on it once a week. I bought 4,000 plus Hot Wheels in my garage that I need to purge. Anybody wants some Hot Wheels? Give me a call. But I've got all these things. I call it gamer AD&D. Yes, Joe, it is AD&D. But yeah, so I think that's why Gaslands was such like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever because I get to go back to those days. That's why I love the old, first edition Orc Codex.
Right.
Like as many orcs as you can stack in the truck is how many that truck holds.
And if you move it and some fall out, they have to roll damage. That was awesome. That was great.
That's to me like the old orc mechanized forces and maybe that's what I need to look at is I need to create a supplement for 40K for orc armies that are only conversions. Like you have to convert the tanks, you have to build the tanks, you have to make everything.
If I still lived in Phoenix, one of the things I thought about the other day in my fever-induced delirium, with all this nostalgia where guys are buying old PCs and old video games and all this other stuff, I thought it would have been cool to get together a group of guys and literally play Rogue Trader, 40K first edition, and just for nostalgia purposes.
Yeah. Well, and it was a little bit more RPG-ish.
It was. It absolutely very much was. And there was a lot more. Like I remember that I had taught a guy to play out in Arizona because back then you could modify the stats.
Mm-hmm.
You could spend points up and down your stats. And it was his first game. He was coming over to my house. It was his first game he'd ever played. And I showed him how to build an army because we worked together. I showed him how to build an army. And I built a nice little 500-point force. It was quite a few miles. He shows up with 3 guys. And one of his guys had all 10s across the board. and I said, that's awesome. I think that's cool. However, and I literally wiped him off the table. And I said,
he was maxing everything out.
Yeah, I said having 10 stats on everything is great. Looks really cool, but you only got one guy. And I had 5 guys that just focused fire on that one guy.
And I always hit on 6s no matter what your saves are.
Right. And just
I think that was a Rogue Trader rule, if I'm not mistaken. You still
there was something like that in there. Yeah, I haven't read the rules, but I actually thought of the other day, man, because I don't have the same kind of gaming group around me as we did in AZ, and I would love to just do a Rogue Trader nostalgia group. And just play first edition Rogue Trader.
Guerrilla Miniatures at one time did a Rogue Trader painting project and gameplay video series where he just painted up all the old Rogue Trader models because they've got Ash has, I don't know what Ash has, but he has a massive collection of miniatures. But he painted up old Rogue Trader models and they played Rogue Trader and it was awesome. Tim mentions that, and he was talking to me the day he was there when he was at IOG. People were playing 2nd edition 40K, and him and Tom were playing War Masters. So it's like, hey, talk about going back to the 90s. Like that is totally where it was at. Like that was just so much fun stuff back then.
Well, I think that's why I like 10th edition so much because it's the first time in a long time I've played 40K where I felt like the first time I played Rogue Trader.
That excitement.
We would have to have an AARP. Mike used to make fun of me when I joined AARP until we started doing our Denny's breakfast, and I was getting it with the AARP discount.
And now I qualify for AARP. So
and are you a member?
I'm no.
You should be.
I'm not.
You're not willing to cross that line.
I'm just not willing to cross it. So
and it just give in because I use mine at Waffle House all the time.
But I love my old orc army. That's like because I built like a Humvee. You remember my Humvee? I scratch built a Humvee from the ground.
I scratch built a Baneblade. I mean, I mean, because I remember back in the day, White Dwarf actually had the blueprints to scratch build a Baneblade.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually cut it out of the magazine, you cut out the templates, and it was awesome. I had a lot of fun with it.
You get a free trunk organizer.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
That's an exclusive club. David.
Wouldn't that be? I mean, here's the thing, though. I would love to play Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
With new models, because the models. I mean, come on. The original Marines were kind of
Dude, that actually would be ideal. Like, you can just that would be awesome. Oh, they should.
I shouldn't. I'm actually.
Actually, I don't think it would be that hard to for the most part, everything they had back then has come either back into vogue with Voltan, so you have squats and all the other stuff.
I still have it. I still have that I bought from Bo before I moved. I have all metal squad army.
Yes, you do. I think I pointed that army out to you.
You did. One other example of Mike spending my money, which, by the way, Mike's talking about this purge and blah, blah, blah. I have to go on record of saying a lot of the stuff I have was purchased for me by Mike using my money.
I am really good at spending Jeff's money.
He would just walk up to me, especially during the garage sale days at IOG. He'd just go, "Have you looked at the table? They got this really great Viking dice, or they've got this, or Bo's got these squats he's trying to sell." Oh,
now, to be fair, you will randomly roll a dice in front of me and know how distracting rolling that dice in front of me will cause me to lose 100. We would do it during streaming. You would just roll the dice and I would be gone.
Yep.
So
anytime you got all serious about shooting, which is really kind of funny, when we first started, you'd be all serious. You had your script, you were ready to go. And my job, I realized without telling you, was to keep you off that script. And anytime that I was failing, I just roll some dice in front of you. And you were like a cat with a ball of yarn.
I was chasing the laser pointer around the table.
Well, for being full disclosure, you spending my money wasn't difficult because I was on the precipice of just jumping off that cliff by myself anyway.
Yeah, I just push.
Just give me a little push.
But speaking of Gamers Garage Sales, Joe, if you're listening, why don't you chime in the comments? IOG is going to be having another Gamers Garage Sale coming up. I will resist the urge to go down there and buy a bunch of stuff because I got to purge a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up going down there and buying a bunch of stuff. So
well, at least you accept it and embrace it.
Yeah. But going back to the idea of conversion and all of that kind of stuff, it's different than 3D printing. And
yes.
On the 16th of February will be the Gamers Garage Sale, which is a Sunday, which is the Sunday after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Ouch. But yeah, so Sunday the 16th. Next Sunday, if I'm correct, doors open at 10 o'clock. Believe I might be off on that Sunday. So we'll see how things go. But there's a difference between scratch building and 3D printing. Love 3D printing, love painting models that are 3D printed. I'm not, but when you sit down with your hobby knife and an old cut up ruler that's not straight anymore, and you're building stuff and you're chopping it all up, I think that for me is where the hobby is.
Can you hold things down a minute? I think someone's knocking on my door.
If we need to keep the microphone on, so if we hear you screaming bloody murder. So anyways, one of the projects I am working on, and when Jeff comes back and we start going through the photos and everything, is I am painting up my buddy Jason's. He's got the complete collection of Imperial Assault. If you're not familiar with Imperial Assault, this Fantasy Flight game, kind of a sci-fi version of Descent. Kind of a dungeon-y crawl kind of game. From what I understand, I had like the core box, but I never really got into the game. But he's got everything, so I've been slowly chipping away. Like this morning, I primed up the Wookiees, so I'll be getting the Wookiees painted. I'm finishing a variety of different troops and stuff like that. So I've just been having fun. But it's going to be like 50, 60 models by the time I'm all said and done, and I will be posting them on Discord and not taking the ration of hard times from Jeff regarding that. What Don say here?
Oh, you will.
Resist compulsive side of the brain. Say, hold my beer. Yeah, that compulsive side of our brain can really.
It was not a knocking at my door. It was my washing machine being out of balance.
Hey, Mike, does he want more base sets for his collection? I'm getting rid of mine. I think he has everything. So I don't know what you mean by he's got the base set. So I don't think he needs it for his collection. JP says Imperial Assault is a pretty terrific. Yeah, I'm just more of a Descent. I'm a fantasy guy. I really love my fantasy games, but I am cranking this out for him. I've got I'm trying to get done. Like you'll show a photo of the 3 that have already finished. Trying to finish all the like models, the models that are like duplicates, because I guess there's some small troops in this game where you take 2 models maybe as or 3 models as like troops. So I'm trying to finish all those up so I can just focus on characters. I think the painting the characters is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. You ready to do photos, buddy?
I'm just making sure I got the pictures you mentioned. There's a lot of pictures. I mean, there was a lot of pictures last week when we ended up not showing up.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do pictures. We can do photos.
People have been busily painting stuff.
Absolutely.
I reorganized and took stock, not buying any more stuff until I sort the list.
We all know. We know what's really going to happen.
You're going to find grot tanks, little die-cast tanks, and you're going to go out and buy a bunch of grot tanks and start chopping up grot tanks. So.
All right, here we go. Boom.
Boom.
We start off with an app that our very own David is working on.
Yes. A little gamer app.
Yeah. So I'll go through these really quickly, but it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah. Little combat zone. I think I gave him a hard time because I didn't think he didn't list Gaslands. So hopefully there'll be a Gaslands link soon.
Yeah, let's see how he does. Little ingenuity there. Very well. Very good. I hope it goes well. Keep us posted. I think it's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. A little even if it's just to keep you organized and have access to all of your files and documents for your games. I think that's just a huge bonus.
And when David starts this multi-million-dollar company, I hope he needs a sales manager to keep me in mind.
I hope he needs a guy to purge the warehouse.
Yeah, there you go. But it's looking really good, actually. I'm kind of excited to see where.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so it's very cool. Necromunda. Who's this?
These are all the cool squats for Necromunda.
Oh, I wonder who's doing squats.
I think it's David. I think we're still on Dave.
So is this another whip? Is this what we call a whip?
That will be a work in progress for him. Yes. Yeah, it's still Dave.
All right. Well, David said that when it happens, you're going to get a job. So there you go.
I'm all about it.
Look at this.
And yeah, I think this is still Dave as well. Yes.
Very cool. I think this is Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it absolutely looks like it. Nice feel. Definitely looks like it. Love it.
Yes. Wait, it's painted. It's not gray. So that's always
it's a step forward. Look at it. Look at that.
Look at that.
Designing apps and painting miniatures. That's awesome.
All at the same time, I bet you. Like does a few keystrokes and then
he took a weekend and put together a really nice basic website for me, which I'm very appreciative of. Oh, looking good.
Loving it.
And I believe these are Mr. Hummel's, or this is Mr. Hummel. It was actually built by him and I believe painted by Chris Gorka, which if you're on Build Paint Play, the man's a machine and a fantastic painter.
Love it.
Fantastic painter. He is who I want to be when I grow up as a painter.
I love that model. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Correct.
Correct.
My memory is still functioning.
Hey, that's half the battle when we wake up. As long as we can remember why we're in the room, that's all that we care about.
Talk about conversion work.
Yeah,
that's just phenomenal.
But this looks like an older model, though. That doesn't look like a newer.
No, that looks like an older Terminator. Yeah, an older Terminator.
I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like a modern Terminator.
And I mean, the build job is fantastic.
Yeah,
and not that David's an accomplished painter in his own right, but Chris Gorka is if you guys again follow Build Paint Play, he's really great. His models, color choices.
Sometimes in your army, you just want that centerpiece, Deathwing Terminator.
Yeah,
look at that.
Looking really good.
Love it. One of a kind.
Yep. Absolutely.
Totally love it. Yeah, even the back of the model's good. Yes.
Yeah. Well done.
What a centerpiece. What a centerpiece.
I don't know who. Some guy painted this. I'm not sure who it is.
It needs a shave job.
Yeah, I'm not. Not a lot of color to it. Not very vibrant.
Wow.
It's Don. Don did this.
Yes, Don is amazing.
Don is fantastic. Don looks really, really good. Really, really nice.
Love it. Love it.
And yeah,
One.
version of Logan Grimnar. Okay. I'm not sure if I should be complimented or offended by that, but
We'll roll with it. We'll just roll with it.
move on.
You didn't win.
That's too bad. It's kind of great. I say this about Don all the time, watching where Don's at now and where he was and how much effort he's put in over the years. Still looks great to me, buddy. I like it. I like it a lot.
I love it.
And this is one of the problems because I think the way IO handles those is they put them online and people vote. Is that how it happens?
Yeah, it's a voting thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things though about that is you're with a painting competition like at a show or a convention, you're dealing with a set number of judges, so you only have to please one or two guys. When you do public voting, there's so many options and variables on what will appeal to people. So so don't take it to heart, buddy.
If I was to say the only thing I would say about that model is the base is kind of plain.
Yeah, other than that, everything.
That would be my only, like, you've got this super colorful model, which I understand you wanted to probably do a darker base so the model stood out more, but people seeing that might go, that base is kind of boring, and they probably went in another direction.
That's not critique.
That would be the only critique I would have. Outside of that, the blending work is fantastic, especially with the yellow and orange in the whiskers. I'm going to call them whiskers. They're not. They're tentacles, but I'm calling them whiskers. It looks like you did freehand. I don't know if that's freehand on the tablet.
I believe on the tablet on the
I don't know if that's
it looks freehand to me. It looks very good freehand. So, and remember, Don, we're using the word critique, not criticism. So if you want to know how to take it to that next level, the base might have needed a little more work.
But public voting, though, that's what people saw. Like they didn't see, it just took their attention away from the model. So maybe that's the only way I could see. That's it. That's all.
Mind Flayer with flair, absolutely.
Yes, Mind Flayer with flair.
Yeah. So I mean, but when you're dealing with public voting, it gets on the yellow. Zoom in on it. Oh wait.
We're talking about is blending.
I'm losing my mind.
Well, because of the Mind Flayer.
I got to see if I can bring my tools back up here.
Just without his tools.
I am without my tools. I clear them off to make more. What the heck is the zoom? Yeah, I know what he's talking about. We'll just go here because they're right here. The lettering on this. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
All that area there. So.
But I think it's fantastic, Don.
I think it's great. I think if anything, that base looks a little rushed in comparison to the rest.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's more of this that you're trying to appeal to a mass audience. And the other thing is you also don't know when you do that how many people are actually saying, "Hey, buddy, go in and vote for me."
Yeah. But you have to take public voting as it's not necessarily it's just something you're really trying to push your boundaries a lot more because you need to capture everybody's attention, not just a few. Yep. So you really gotta work on it.
However, I think that they were all silly because the work on this is beautiful. So.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see the winners, so
Yeah, I think I did, but no. I think this was the best.
Yeah. Love it. Love
now
it.
we're into some of Joe's terrain. And Joe's had an actual surprise for me this week.
Oh, he did me too. I was pretty excited.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I know.
I was kind of excited about it. So we're gonna go through these. Some Beastmen.
This is fun stuff, Joe. You're cranking stuff out. Lots of training the last couple of weeks. I love it.
Love it.
Don't get it's a skill team. Well, it's not just skill team. A lot of men. What is this all for? Is this
I think this is from Kill Team.
Kill Team? Okay.
I think this is Kill Team. I think because they have
I was thinking Warcry.
Yeah, well, it could be Warcry, but the Votan set comes with Beastman as well. I haven't looked at the Beastman as much as I have the Votan models. So I kind of assumed that was it, but these could be for Warcry, could be for something else. They're gorgeous. They look great.
Yeah. Bases are all good. Everything is lovely. Love it. Lots of them. Lots of Beastmen.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Beastmen.
It's Kill Team.
Oh, it's Kill Team.
Yep.
All right.
Good looking stuff.
A barbed wire whip. Gotta love that.
I love that. Absolutely.
More
terrain. And then I think there's the Votan that we were talking about.
Yeah, look at those. Train. Dang, Joe, you were just cranking stuff out right now.
But yeah, well, first of all, this is from our break. From
yeah, well, that's like 3
then
weeks.
I had put everything together last week, and then we ended up having to cancel last week as well. So this is quite a few weeks, but still a lot of work done. A lot of work.
Look at all this. Dang,
Joe.
And this is for Kill Team? All this is for Kill Team, or is this just a mixture of Kill Team, Cyberpunk, and everything else that you're doing?
Yeah, a lot of this looks Kill Team. This all looks
Some of it does,
Kill Team stuff. Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, see, this is not Kill Team. So
this is not Kill Team. This is something else.
I'm thinking this is Cyberpunk or Cyber Red or mixture. Yeah,
I got to find a way into Joe's studio to get that red handle.
Yeah, I don't have a red one. Where did the red ones come from?
They were GW. I got 6 of them.
I never got a red one though. Was that like the first printing? And I missed
actually their second printing.
Okay, so I at that point I already had 16 of them and didn't feel I needed any.
I've got 6 of the red ones, and I still go online every once in a while and just type in red GW paint handle to see if there's anybody selling any used ones.
All right.
I don't know why I'm obsessed with the red ones.
Joe's saying that those were for Batman, the board game, and Cyberpunk.
Oh, fantastic.
Or Dave popped in Cyberpunk.
Iron Rangers. Iron Rangers are back. I know it's just a Kill Team, but quite frankly, Joe, these are the favorite models. I mean, you've done a lot of good stuff over the years. These are my favorites that you've done, the Iron Rangers.
Yeah.
And, I'm just glad to see you back in the saddle, so to speak.
Yeah, love it. Love the Iron Rangers. And again, Kill Team or not, you can still use them in a 40K army.
Absolutely.
It doesn't restrict their usage.
Absolutely.
Love the Iron Rangers. Look at that base. Look at the bases. Awesome.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, I think this color palette is just fantastic.
Starting off a lot of good stuff. Dave's app and some models that he painted. Then we got Don's, and it's just good stuff this morning.
Yeah, the red one. Oh, red ones make painting go faster.
Possibly. I've not done a study, but possibly. Or it's just a pipe dream where I'm trying to find a way to quicken how things go.
I wonder what these things actually sell for online. Like, because these are probably one of the best, especially when you use them correctly.
Paint handles? Yeah. I can't find any used online. Well, and now they've gone to that really ugly one.
Yeah, I don't like the new one at all. I have an idea for David on a paint handle, but we'll talk about it after we get done with pictures.
Also, make sure you check out the Game Envy stuff that I ordered for IO. Should be there, or if not there yet, it should be there soon. So they have some cool stuff there. So
we got some more little scatter terrain things.
And some barbed wire. He was complaining in his comments that the photograph washed out the barbed wire, so there's probably a lot more shadow in there than what the picture is reflecting.
That happens. Cameras always pick up more stuff.
Yeah. Yep. A way to avoid that, Joe, is with your barbed wire, try to make the rocks maybe a level or two darker, and that will help with that. That will absolutely help with that. And this is, I believe, I'm going to check here real quick.
Isn't it JP?
Huh?
Isn't this JP's?
It's JP. Yep.
Yeah.
What I've started doing, because I have a hard time keeping an entire list of this. Beautiful paint area. It's absolutely fantastic. As I keep the actual file where I keep the pictures, so I can pop it open and look at who it belongs to.
Gotcha.
So now, beautiful paint area.
Look at that. Just a mountain of shelving filled with boxes in the corner.
Absolutely fantastic.
I love it when my wife sends me to my room. I go to my hobby room and spend hours and look. This is where JP has to go.
Yeah, you poor guy.
Poor guy. Look at all that paint. I love it.
Timeout. It's a timeout time.
Yes.
I wonder if Cecil built those tables for me. That's who built mine. So
maybe. I don't know.
I have thought about calling him and going, build me another table. I'll have it shipped out here. So,
well, it'd probably be cheaper just to fly him out.
Yeah, he makes such good stuff. And then something he's just painted. Awesome. Looks fantastic.
A little scary. Or it's not ogre troll.
Looks like an ogre or something.
Troll, maybe. I don't know. Very cool.
Good stuff there.
Look at that.
This is my buddy FH, or you guys know him as Mark. I know him as FH.
He's getting ready to do some squats.
Getting ready to do some squat. He actually, remember the last time we did a show, I was talking about our friendship and how it developed. And I was telling you, I think he and I have met face to face a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
He actually he watched the show later when it was recorded and had to text me and go, Jeff, we've only met face to face once. And I'm like, well, I'm old and feeble, and after all of my health issues, my memory's not what it once was. But this is my buddy FH, quite frankly, my longest and one of my dearest friends that we met online. And like I said, 99% of our friendship has been just chatting online and doing stuff online. So
there you go. JP, let us know. It is a troll. So
it is a troll. Thank you, JP. We appreciate that.
There's lots of those on the internet.
I want an entire unit of this guy.
Which guy? Oh, yeah.
The jump pack guy. That's the only thing. That's the only problem I have with my Votan. There aren't a lot of options, and we need a Dreadnought, and we need some other stuff. So,
what do you have to do? Like, which box set is that one model?
This is the kill team.
So you would have to. They don't make a box set of nothing but jump troops.
No, but I'm expecting when the new Votan book comes out, we'll see an expansion of new stuff. And I'm hoping that we have this unit and hopefully a Dreadnought.
There you go. Well, that's the only way you can do it.
But they're gorgeous models. I love the new Squat Tan is what I'm calling them.
Squat Tan.
Squat Tan.
I love it.
So good stuff there. And then, of course, Mark has to blow us away with this is the new U.S. main battle tank, I believe.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. And I went, we have a new one already? And then I went, oh, yeah, the M1 was introduced in the 70s. Yeah.
I think that is super sci-fi. Like that whole tank just looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
I love it. I'm sure it's super fast and can take a couple hits and be just.
Well, armor. Look at that armor slippage. That whole thing is really, really nice.
Phenomenal. And his painting is just awesome. He's doing the different colored panels, washing it all down, muting it all down, just making it all blend together nicely.
And I will probably talk about this after the picture show, but I have a new obsession.
What's that?
We'll talk about that when the show's over. When the slideshow's over.
Hearing him mentioning he went to I didn't know there was a Hobby Lobby at the Christown Mall. That's a new one to me. He picked up Vallejo paints. Yeah, they started carrying Vallejo paints a while back.
Now that Vallejo's kind of got themselves back in line and started actually shipping stuff again.
Yeah. You can also find their metal paints. Remember the larger the
metallics. They're great stuff.
Yeah, so those are cool. All right.
And this is Rob's. Rob has finished this. Originally, I believe, had a green skin on it, but he's converted it to have one of his ogres on it. So the actual beastie is done.
Isn't that an orc?
It's an orc. It's an orc mount, but on top, that's an actual ogre.
Oh, very cool! I love the cabbage.
Rob pulled the orc off, or I don't know if he replaced the entire model or just the head, but for him, it's an ogre.
Yeah, the rider just has two little spots to go on.
Yeah, so he may have just swapped the head out for an ogre head.
Because it's one of the big iron guys for the old black orcs. They're super big, but I love the model. I love the blending.
He's done a lot of good work on it. It looks really nice.
He's got it on a square base though. Is he going Kings of War or is it for his old school?
This is for Old World. He does and Rob prefers MDF bases over the plastic, which is a bonus for me because every once in a while at work he throws a bag of plastic bases on my desk, which is why I have so many. Which is fine. I don't have a problem. Can't have too many bases.
Yes.
So
very cool.
Oh, they have the Gundam panel paints there. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the markers and stuff. They got some things in there. You can also.
I don't know who this guy is. He does a lot of small stuff. I don't know who he is.
This is Tim's army. I think this is his Kezbla army. Yes, Kezbla. I think.
Yeah. But I recognize these when you say, yeah, that's definitely Kezbla.
Yeah, Tim's been going to town. He's also doing. He got bit by the bug of the old Warmaster stuff, and he's
Yeah.
also getting into the pike and shoot stuff from because they went ahead and took the basic mechanics and went over to what's that company, Warlord Games, and they did.
Okay.
They did pike and shoot. They've got They got Civil War and some other stuff. So that's
face.
About face.
They look really nice.
Yeah.
When I first saw this at a glance, I thought these were their arms and they were grabbing each other's butts. I had to look at it again, and I didn't have my glasses on. That was the other thing.
It happens.
Yeah.
All the bases belong to us.
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah. Warmaster's a great game. Like it fell out of popularity, or just GW stopped supporting it. I don't know how it disappeared, but it's really gives you just like Epic. Like I think Epic is probably a better version of a 40K game than 40K will ever be. Simply because you can really feel like you've got a massive army.
Well, yeah, I mean, one is a skirmish level game. Supposedly, one is a mass armies game.
Yeah.
It's just, and yes, JP, you are correct. That is exactly what I'm saying. All your bases belong to us.
Yes,
it's that simple.
Just that easy.
But see, look, it's easy. It's easy, Mike. He took a picture of the models on his bench while he was working. It's so easy to do. If only they made something that you carried around with you all day long that actually had a camera on it. Oh, yeah, wait.
I wish I knew what that device would be called. Like, because I have to go down to the store, get the pictures developed, I gotta get the negatives, and then
scan them in. It's just another word. Hassle. Use my thumb drive to get them back and forth. It's horrible.
It's just horrible. I got to do pictures when I actually have that. That's a lot of time. Hey, I remember back in the day when cell phones didn't have cameras, and blogging was the big thing. We were all doing blog pages back in the day. I literally had to take
David, you are correct. It is a phone.
I actually had to take pictures with like a regular digital camera and hook it up to my computer and transfer the pictures over, change the format to put them on. Like now it's like camera, phone, done.
I think I took some work in progress pictures recently of my chaplain on bike just to let people know I hadn't died, because I wasn't posting anything anywhere.
David said he can make an app for that.
And it would be a good app too. It would be great.
There you go. Anyways.
It would be awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Man, how many of these things did he do?
Hey,
just a ton.
Tim cranks, man.
Yeah. And I gotta say, a lot of people think with 15s or even smaller, you just throw some paint on, dry brush, you're done. But there's a lot of detail work here. I mean, there's a lot. And I have to say, no army, in my opinion, looks better than a well-painted, small-scale army. 15 millimeter stuff painted really well just pops on the table.
But these are newer models too. So the detail level, like we could go back in the day and have conversations about the old Warmaster models and the old Epic models and stuff like that. The detail was good, but not great. But with these newer models, like I'm waiting for Warlord to come up with a fantasy version of this system that they're pushing, because I think it would be fantastic to get a fantasy version back on the table.
Yeah, no, I agree.
JP, the Sony Makaba, or whatever, however it was pronounced back in the day, with a
1.4 megabyte video.
I remember the good old days. Had to actually point a camera at your monitor and take a picture. Thanks, Aaron. That brings back good memories.
But yeah, Tim has been knocking out some gorgeous. These are gorgeous, Tim. Very well done.
Yeah, love it. Just love it.
Very well done.
Now they're there with some flocking.
Yep.
Flocking bases. Love it.
Yeah.
Look at that massive. That's just massive. That's how that's just great. And the game mechanics are fine. One of the challenges with some of the old the Warmaster Ancients rules Some of the armies weren't outbalanced, and they just never really fixed them.
Well, this takes me back to when I started playing DBR and DBM. If anybody remembers what those are, back in the '80s, and my late Imperial Samurai, and I had a Scots Common Army, and there were that formation stuff and painted well, and that uniform look and the flags. You put that on a table, even though the table is less than a 24 by 24 size table. I mean, you can play anywhere. It just looks really, really good.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely
love it. And if I'm not mistaken, Mantic Games is trying to do an epic game. They put out something on Kickstarter, and they're trying to.
I heard that. Absolutely.
Mantic Games to me is like Roger Corman in the movie industry. Like Roger Corman always like took the latest and greatest and just made like a cheesy B-rated movie out of whatever was popular at the time. That's what Mantic does. Whatever GW is doing, they just make their version of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Good stuff. Good stuff. Pirates.
Gotta love the pirates. Looky. Looks like these are whips because it looks like the resin texture is drying on the bases.
Yep. Amazing. Again, just pictures on the desk. I'm like a dog with a bone. I ain't letting this go.
Love it. Look at that.
Look. Progression picks. All done.
I'm gonna start taking pictures of my progress. I'm just gonna show like my paint cup full of dirty water, and my paint's just sitting there saying, "I'm thinking about painting."
The way to get even with me for giving you a hard time with this is go, okay, here's the box I'm starting. There's my paint water. There are my brushes. Okay, I've opened the box. There's my glue, and then I'd be like, stop.
Just put like 1,000 pictures on for one little project.
Too much.
What's up, Mark?
Hey, we were just talking about you, buddy.
Yeah, all good, by the way.
Yeah, don't watch a show though between this time and this time. I was not very nice. That's not true.
You're always nice.
That's not true either.
Too damn early. Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're doing Halo. And be fair, Manic is doing Halo, and they're really, really going. They just jumped in the deep end. They're really committing to it.
Yeah. So these are some of the models I'm working on for Jason.
Oh, these are yours. You actually. Oh, wow. Okay.
Those are mine. I actually take photos. I actually do stuff. He just wants the bases black because it's a board game. So.
David says, that's all I always do. I'm thinking about painting.
Thinking about it. I'll get it.
You look good, buddy.
Yeah, they're fun. I'm not getting into like cleaning mold lines and stuff. I'm keeping them. I'm just trying to make them pop on the base or on for his board game. So.
Oh, they look great.
And then this is all I've been working on Tiny Epic Game of Thrones.
Yep.
I think Bruce Lee was a very intelligent person, so go with that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Tiny Epic Game of Thrones is a new release from Gameland Games.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just having fun. I don't have to. So this is my set, so I don't have to follow any painting guides or any information. I'm not appeasing the owner of the company. So
you're just painting them for yourself.
Yeah, so I had a little bit more freedom and just did whatever I wanted to do, which was fine. These are 20.
Hang on a minute. We won't read Joe's comment.
Oh, wait. We can post with dangerous.
Yeah, I think this is the last time we're doing picks.
Joe, please show mercy.
Yeah, please.
Show mercy.
My Friday nights were full enough.
So these are like 20 mil miniatures. So I believe it or not, I actually like this scale.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So they were fun to paint, quick and easy. Not a lot of details. Game of Thrones, so there's not a lot of bips and bops I had to worry about.
Joe, you may make me go with Dave Taylor's way of doing it on Bill Paint Play, where you can put like a dozen pictures up and it'll show like one.
There you go.
Yeah, these look really good, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm liking them.
I gotta learn how to play the game. I didn't like how my dude in yellow turned out. For some reason, I just couldn't get the colors to work.
Well, the model itself this is the one that really jumped out to me when I was looking through them. I'm not sure that's a really good model. It looks a little wide. It looks a little flat, two-dimensional.
Yeah, it's a monoposy kind of.
Yeah, it's absolutely describes that.
Yeah, so I just gave up. I'm just like, sometimes you just gotta say, F it.
Well, you have fun playing Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm jealous because I have a lot of models that I have yet to play it. And have a good weekend, buddy.
All right, buddy. Have a great day, Don.
Thanks for stopping in, pal.
So yeah, just been having just getting these guys done. I really like the I think the next photo is the ladies of Game of Thrones.
Well, I have to be honest.
What's that?
I actually really enjoy it when you actually put up some pictures on it because I don't think you paint enough.
I don't.
Yeah, and I know I don't say that as in paint, damn you. It's more I know you enjoy it.
Yes. Well, I paint every day. Every day I sit down at my desk and I paint for 30 minutes to an hour every day. I'm slow at it though because I'm distracted by a lot of things. So I just
which is why you could take a picture.
Yep. I'm going to take more pictures. I'm going to go out to my back. I'm going to go out and just take a picture of a tree and go, I like that color green.
My Friday evenings are lost now. 8 hours of pulling pictures just because I've been giving you such a hard time.
It's all good. It's all good.
There they are.
Yeah, a lot of fun painting. I call them my Skittles. These models painted up a lot. These were a lot of fun to paint up because the dresses have so much texture to work with.
Yeah, they look great.
Really easy to paint up, and I just have fun. But they are small. They are small models. So
yeah, what scale are these again?
20 mil.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, they're small. Yeah.
So all the GW stuff at like, well, what is GW like? 32. If you
it's 28. I've heard it called 28 mil heroic scale. Now they're saying 32.
Yeah.
And I think the 32 comes from that's the new standard base size.
Yeah.
32 mil. So scale. It's really weird. When I first started playing miniature wargaming, scale was everything.
Yeah.
You were 15, you were 25. Boom.
Boom.
And now scale has gotten, for lack of a better way to put it, so fluid.
It's skewed.
It's very skewed. It's very based on what, like when GW went to what became known as heroic scale, which they enlarged the hands and the face a little bit just to give you the ability to put a little more detail into it. It's just kind of all over the place.
Well, and I think a lot of it had to do with technology. Like back in the day, you couldn't get a face like these models at 20 mil that you can see detail in the face, but it's not real great detail.
Yeah.
So I think technology for back then they had to do it, but now they can do so much more that they can really ramp it up.
Mark,
even if have always been lost, Jeff, either from losing and try or now shifting through pictures.
Okay, all right, that's hurtful and aggressive and accurate.
All of those things.
But yeah, wow. Remember I said earlier about being one of my best friends I met online? I may have to read. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I love that guy.
Yeah, so I should have those. I got 4 more of them to finish up, and then
I can't wait to see it. When you do me a favor, I mean, in all sincerity, get a picture of all of them together.
I will.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be great
when it gets all done. I gotta learn how to play the game.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah, look at this.
Boom! This is my repulsor.
That's repulsive.
For my wolf spear.
Love it.
The hardest part of this model is I don't like the way these little things here. They're metal and they got a lot of texture on them, and I don't like them. They just look silly.
What are they exactly?
There's something to do. They're like bumpers, and there's something to do with grav, and I don't know what their purpose is. But they come and they've got texture on them, and pretty much everybody paints them a silver color. And so I take the time and I scrape all that stuff off so I can actually put markings on them.
There you go.
But yeah, there they are.
Yeah, they look like little shields almost.
Yeah, and they have texture on them. They have little raised areas on them that make it almost impossible to do anything with. So I take the time, cut them all off, sand them down, putty them up if I have to, and smooth them out. And but I've also, again, because I have a friend that says, "Get out of your comfort zone. Do things you're not used to." Yes, the anti-grav plates. I knew that's what they were for, but they just don't like the way they look. And so I always modify them. If you notice, I'm doing a little more weathering, a little more stuff here and there. Yeah, getting out of my damn comfort zone.
Love it.
So
got your yellow and black stripes though.
Gotta have caution stripes, baby.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have caution stripes. These are dual purpose. They have an arrow shape, so that I'm going that direction, and you're in my way.
So, get out! I'm gonna run you over.
This is for my wolf spear. It's a nice addition to my wolf spear.
Okay.
And I'm doing it. And then I painted this up. This is a commission for a guy. I don't know why, but templates and those kind of things look really cool. So that's the Kill Team templates I did up. And I'm not sure why. Hang on a minute. That just triggered a memory.
Oh, triggered.
I had put Joe's template up here for Kill Team because he did one as well, but it did not show up. I'm not sure why. That's just weird. So I'll try to have it next week's show.
Because it would have been kind of cool to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not. I've tried to put it. There's something wrong with something. The image may be corrupted. It's not coming up.
Well, maybe you just had too many photos.
That could have been it. And then I'm working on that now. The whole painted template theme.
Yeah, look at that. Blood Bowl, best game ever.
Yep.
Best game ever.
I love Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
And then my chaplain on bike.
Yes. Dark future in the 41st moon. There's only hazard stripes.
Absolutely. Actually, the Iron Priest called them markings of concern.
Yeah. Well, I like David's comment. Move. Can't say the word. Get out of my way markers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
This is my chaplain bike conversion for my wolf spear.
Love it.
So
yeah, I saw this guy. This was all over my Facebook. He was just haunting me.
And again, trying to get more weathering in my stuff because
the tires are all dirty like they're supposed to be because you're in the 41st millennium.
And once again, I get accused of always liking tactical rocks.
Well,
even though that's the way the model comes.
I was going to say, I don't think it's you like tactical rocks. I think you're just kind of like
just kind of going
supposed to be.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. I'm really happy with him. I tried to keep the wolf spear theme, making that one Fenderwell gray. Then black. They normally are that light gray with the black backpack. So I'm trying to keep that with both the repulsor and with the chaplain.
Love it. New bikes are kind of cool.
Compared to I really like the new bikes.
Yeah.
And then I took one of these where the camera's kind of below to kind of give it a little bit more scale.
A little bit more of an action shot.
Yeah. Now the next picture is I got a new miniature.
Wait, hold on. I love how the tufts of grass are all the same height because in the 41st millennium they maintain the
they
tuft.
do. They do. The groundskeeping is very important.
Yes.
Because leave me alone.
Go ahead. Next photo.
Anyway, I have got this new miniature in my life, and I haven't shown a pic of it yet.
Mark says they look pretty good. I'm really surprised that they were done by you.
God, that's in rare form today.
Hey, I'm just glad it's not all me I'm getting picked on. It's glad that Mark's going back.
All the nice things I said about that piece of crap tank he put up. Anyway, let me go back. This is important.
All right.
My favorite model ever. New miniature in my life.
All right.
This is my new grandbaby.
Look at
Evangeline Charlotte Oswald. My baby girl, who's in her 30s, had a baby girl.
Look at that.
And this is her.
Aw, adorable.
Yeah, a new miniature in my life.
Yeah.
She is tiny, and I have not been able to see her in the last month because I have been sick.
Well, that's for good. That's important. So.
But no, she's adorable. She's absolutely fantastic. Doing well. Mom, dad, baby, doing well. So that is everything.
Well, congratulations. That is adorable. Just adorable.
Thank you so much. And David said it's the height of the clearance of all the tanks. And he's correct. That's how they keep all the grass same height.
Well, it's all those hover tanks.
All the
Just
hover tanks, they trim them
everything.
off. They go right through.
I'm going to go. I like David's concept. I think we'll go with that. It's all those hover tanks and tanks just keeping everything the same height.
Mark is blaming his saltiness and his snarkiness on his first cup of coffee.
I'm on my third, so that's why I'm awake and bouncing off the walls inside.
Nothing wrong with that. Thanks, Mark. It was a little touch and go. She went a little early. They were worried about preeclampsia, so they delivered her. I think it was on the 26th.
C-section?
Yeah. No, she had it naturally, but they had labor because she had started having some stuff with prenatal diabetes and blood pressure issues and that kind of thing, and that leads into preeclampsia. So they decided rather than deal with it so they said when you hit week 37, we're just going to deliver. And,
very cool.
So she is gorgeous.
My social feed doesn't.
you know, Mark, that we've known each other so long that you don't have to have a social photo. We've been doing this back and forth forever, and he is right. I lost at Tribes a lot.
That's all right, as long as you had fun.
I had a great time. It was the first time I ever thought we were playing Tribes, and we're on a team. We competed. It was a lot of fun. And then everybody got excited because Tribes 2 was coming out, and that just killed the game.
Yeah. But that's why I think we love Blood Bowl so much, because Blood Bowl is actually a 50-50 sport.
Yeah.
Game. Like there is no, I will always win at Blood Bowl. No, as soon as you say that, your dice are going to turn on you. I think everyone who plays Blood Bowl, obviously, when you're new and you're learning, there's a little bit, you lose a little bit more than average, especially if you go up against someone that's been playing for a while.
Right.
But when you take a bunch of people, if you look at a Blood Bowl tournament or something like that, everybody's just kind of like doing kind of the same. And it's all like, there's not like this team dominant. I've seen Blood Bowl teams that are dominant teams, that are very good teams. Dice will always screw you in the end.
Well, right now in November, John Matthews, who I mentioned on the show before, he and I are talking about going to Florida in November for the Chaos Cup.
Oh yeah,
which is a national Blood Bowl tournament.
Yeah, that's the both down guys.
Yeah, so we're thinking about heading that way. Let's see. David is surprised that there are no hand-painted Viking tattoos on her. I'm letting her get a little older so she can actually help me pick out those tattoos.
There you go.
And what runes? What does JP say? They
make Battletech plushies.
Just saying, Grandpa can influence new generation of gamers. That'll happen because my grandson is already kind of nuts for tanks and stuff like that. And still sorting figures and uploading ones from old computer drives and phones so I can eventually get them on Discord. Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. That'll be fantastic. Anyway, my new obsession.
Go.
Back in the day when I left Workshop, went to Battlefront, and then at some point, I think it was after I left Battlefront, they came out with Team Yankee.
Yes.
And I was an M1 tanker back in 1981. I was in the 2nd Training Battalion to train with the M1. So I honestly thought Team Yankee would be the game that I'd really get into because I could play. If it takes place in the era that I was in the military, and it takes place towards Cold War, and the Cold War goes hot.
That's right. And it's all what if stuff. So it's not historical in any way, shape, or form.
And I just could not get into it. I don't know why. I could not. And then lo and behold, a new army just released. Actually, it's releasing this weekend.
Okay.
That I have gone absolutely crazy for.
Which army?
It is the new IDF, Israeli IDF, because I know it's got some stuff going along with that. But I've always been, when I was a tanker, I became fascinated and enamored with the Merkava.
Yeah.
And how it was developed. And we have all new kits. So you'll eventually be seeing some Team Yankee picks for me.
Well, then maybe I will dust off my Russians because I have a huge Team Yankee Russian army.
Right.
Because when Team Yankee came out, I was sold on it right away because it fit my play style of it was. It's a science fiction-ish style
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it's kind of a what if kind of a take. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think it's more science. It's well, in the tanks, everything's sci-fi-ish. But I like the unit cards. I like me and Dusty used to play like every Friday night.
Yeah.
And I amassed this huge Russian army. Well, then, hey, Matthew.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
And then COVID hit. Dusty and I started playing, and Team Yankee just fell off the radar for me. So I got like half my armies built. Like I got all my helicopters and I got all my stuff. So it'll be fun to see. I might break out my Team Yankee stuff.
Yeah, I again, I don't know why. I built everything. It's insane, and I'm going to try to put some paint on a couple of Merkava this weekend.
Sweet, can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
Going desert? Are you going like a desert theme, or are you going?
Yeah. I picked up some gray green Israeli color.
Yeah, gray green.
And I've gotten. And the nice thing, the nice thing, or the different thing about it is, it's got kind of a mishmash of stuff. There's a lot of U.S. stuff like Apaches and Cobras, but it's also got some British Centurions. There's some Russian anti-aircraft. I mean, it's got a kind of a collage of different vehicles.
You get to kind of just pull from everything.
Yeah. So I've been on a craze getting all that stuff pulled together.
Matt's like, I want to try that game. He'd love to try that game. And U.S. Marine Force M60s have not painted yet. Really? You haven't painted them yet.
I thought originally when Team Yankee came out that I'd be like all crazy, because I'm an Abrams tanker. I was doing that, like I said, back when the Abrams was, there were no Abrams A1s or A2s. It was just the Abrams.
Hey, Jake, right at the right time, right when
that's our cue to sign off, because Jake's come on.
Yeah, so Team Yankee is just one of those games. It's like it fit my play style of what I like in a game, and I was playing the heck out of it, and then again, COVID, everything changed. And I don't know where they're at as far as a rule system goes. Like, are they on like a second edition yet, or
not really? No, they have started doing something called dynamic points, which kind of adjusts the point scale, so it gives you a little bit more. There's have you been to the Forces website?
No, dude, it's been a long time.
There's a Team Yankee Forces website. There's one for Flames as well, but you can go on there and you actually can build your army on the website, and it saves it for you. And you can do a lot of different stuff, but it's just I haven't played yet. I'll probably have my first game here in a week or two. But I don't know why. I was looking at the can, and I've always been kind of a major fan, enamored with the Merkava because of how it was developed.
Right.
All right. And it was literally they wanted to develop a new main battle tank, so they took and found their best general. If their armor general would be the equivalent of, like, say, a Patton or a Bradley or something like that. And they brought him in, and then he went out and got his top 100 tank crews and brought them in, and they spent basically weeks locked in a room going, if you had your dream vehicle,
what would it be?
What would it look like? And they developed the Merkava. And the first thing they did was they went, hey, let's not put the driver in the front. Let's put the engine there and put the driver in a safer location. This stuff like that, they originally wanted to be a troop transport, but that didn't work out. But it became a way to load ammunition very quickly, so they left the doors in the back. But I've just been fascinated by it. So when I saw that it was coming, before I even saw the book, something in my head went, I'm playing this army. So I'm working on that right now.
Yes, Matthew, the starter box is a great value.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I play the Russians because, to me, the Russians are like playing an orc army. Like, it's just massive. It's a mix mash of everything Russian technology at the time. But you have a lot of, you can do a lot of infantry and still make a good army. You can do a lot of mechanized stuff and still do a good army. You can do air support. I just think the Russian, for me, just gives me more of a lot of different things to choose from.
Right.
And just, yes, it's the West German forces recently, because said the game didn't really grab my attention until recently. Yeah. Well, and I think it's a game that suffered some issues at the beginning. Just like COVID really, a lot of the industry stuff.
Do you know what was kind of fascinating? You know, you and I have our pre-show solve the world problems
Yes,
time.
yes.
Well, oddly enough, Jake and I this week had a long conversation, and we literally in that conversation discussed and tried to solve all the problems in the gaming industry. So,
How'd that work out?
it was good. It's good. Same with, we don't really sure what we accomplished, but it was a good conversation. It was really nice talking to Jake. Because we chat online every once in a while, but it was good to have that conversation. So,
Look, we're spending David's money.
I,
Speaking of David, I'm going to help you make some money. I've got an idea in my head, and I don't have the way of making this happen. We all know about paint handles. Don't criticize how I use my paint handles. We all know about paint handles.
you use them as in like a Mandalorian. This is the way. So.
We fixed ours. Oh, big so, and we also know about overhead lighting.
Right.
And these are two things that we use for painting. We need good lighting, and we need something to hold our models so we can turn it around and we can paint without touching the wet paint. What if you took a paint handle, you put the miniature on it, and it went on some like a rotating base, so you could spin it with your thumb around on the handle, so that you didn't have to turn the whole handle. You could just make it fit a little bit more naturally in the hand. You could use your thumb to spin it around a little bit. And then on the back half of it, it was a bunch of LED lights lighting up the miniature specifically right on the, so you don't have big bright lights. It's all based on the paint handle, and you can spin the model around, but you got a bunch of light around it, more direct, because LED lights, the small little lights, they're super bright, and you could light up your model so you can see all of the model, and you're not like moving your light, and it's all built into your paint handle. Think about it.
Right. Here's the thing that I'm going to find intriguing about that. And you've told it to Dave. So right now, Dave is drawing sketches.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm throwing it out.
It's not insane. But here's the thing that I find weird. You just described to him your ideal paint handle. Dave will develop that paint handle. You will take that paint handle and you'll still use it the wrong way.
No, if it has the lights in it.
No, I guarantee you will go, but it works better this way.
Yes, David, it would have to be batteries in the base, and you could use like the LED mechanics with the brightening and changing of shades and tones. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
This is the proper way to use a GW base miniature handle. This is proper. This is insane. You do it upside down.
I stopped painting over straight black. I just cannot see the detail. Zenithal. Yeah, I do Zenithal too. I think that's a better, for us old guys, it's extremely important.
I just have 47 lights above me.
See, but that's what I'm trying to get away from.
My back of my neck gets sunburned. It just,
you just had like a little paint handle with some LED lights wrapped around it with maybe like a mirrored background so it reflects lights better. I don't know. It's an idea.
What you just
$1 million idea or not.
What you just described to me reminds me of a conversation I had back. This is back in the day.
Back in the day. That was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. It was back in the 80s. Still, he can't help himself because he spent too many there. That's true. That's true. In the Arizona sun. Anyway, I was talking to a guy about miniature painting. And I had been painting for a while, but I was nowhere, I'm still nowhere near an expert. And he goes, I don't understand why, with the technology we have today, we can't develop a spray paint that's got compartmentalized colors. And you basically hold the model and you just spray it and you get colors where colors need to. That's what I felt he's talking about. Like paints under a disco ball.
I kind of am talking about that concept. I don't know, man. If with the technology we have with LED lights, and this all came to me because I was watching Nerd Forge, and her I think it's her husband. I don't know if they're married or not. I don't care. They did like this book nook thing, and she had these little like lanterns, and she put the LED lights. And I was like, well, what if you just hung those over miniatures? And the whole idea was flooded into my mind. I'm like, Why can't we just have some arms coming out with some LED lights?
Well,
And
let
just
me let
have
me
it all
just
built.
let me just put this out there. You can go with Mike's idea
Okay.
and end up having to look like Popeye because you're holding this light covered thing with batteries and everything else, and you develop this gigantic forearm and you look like Popeye. Or you can go online and buy a really nice Game Envy light that has the angles and everything you need there. And also, this is something I'm going to be mean about. He could go to the eye doctor because that's the real problem.
I have glasses. I use the
Are
glasses.
they prescription or are they readers you bought at Walmart?
No, they're prescription. I have prescription.
All right. Well, you've advanced. You've grown.
I have stigmatisms or where my eye.
Yeah.
And I got to get a new script, but I don't know. I was just a thought. I'm throwing it out there for David.
Well,
I just want to see what David can do with a basic concept, and see if his mind spins as much as mine spun when I was thinking about this. And I'm like, this could revolutionize the painting industry and be the latest and greatest fad. It'll last about 2 months, and then it will drift off into oblivion like everything else. What is that?
I have to say, Jake always shows up late, but he makes up for it in the comments.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yeah, Joe, you do need to get one of those Game lights, aren't you? I thought we were bringing those into IoT.
I thought they were due out to be back in stock with the new hinge and stuff in the last month. They're actually not. They're already pre-ordered. They're already on the way, but they don't arrive at Game Envy till March 15th.
Okay.
But they're already done. They're already ordered. They're ready to go.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going to pick up one more that I'm going to take to Battlefront when I build, because light is an issue, especially when you start getting older. Lighting is an issue. So I understand where you're coming from, because there are times. I mean, I have my red grass light. I have my Game Envy light. I've got an arch.
Yeah, you got all these lights.
Yeah. And most of those, that's my age. And yeah, astigmatism as well. They're a pain.
Yeah, but if you could centralize it, I don't know. I'll let David play.
No, I think okay. It's a chance to
it's fine. I get it.
It's a chance to pick on you. I'm not going to pass that up. And I'm not going to make the lame excuse that I haven't had my coffee yet. This is just me.
This is just raw, Jeff.
Did you like that though? I come back and like slap Mark just.
Dude, full circle.
It was awesome. It was subtle. It was
dude.
good.
You are the circle of sarcasm.
I can be. I have to admit that my God and Savior in snarkism is Jake, because there's no one better at it than Jake.
The leisure suit really pushed it up. Now I want to go get a leisure suit and paint my leisure suit.
Next week we should do the show in leisure suits.
Maybe I'll hang a disco ball from
There
my
you go. We'll make it a dual theme show. You come in a leisure suit.
Okay.
And I think it should be denim.
Okay. Denim. Like, I got to do the button down. I got to get my gold Gemini medallion, and I'm gonna have to add some hair to my chest. I don't have a lot of that.
And and I'm gonna dress to my body type, and I'm gonna come in as a mafia capo wearing one of those tracksuits.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You got to do the gold chain on the top.
I'll have the gold chain, but I'll be wearing one of those tracksuits. And we'll do a theme. We'll do a Sopranos Saturday Night Fever.
That is where I keep all my seven. Oh, if I could just find like the big collared shirt, polyester shirt.
First of all, you guys are triggering me because I'm the only guy in the chat on the screen that grew up in the 70s.
I was born in 70.
Huh?
I was born in 70.
I was, yeah, I know. I'm a boomer. That's not inaccurate. That's not an accurate description.
What'd you have to
my senior picture, hang on a minute. My senior picture, I had at that time it was cool. I had a suit, a denim suit that had the big lapels.
Yeah,
that was it. I was like, and then no one else probably on watching the show has the experience I had. That I came home one night and I walk in and my mom and dad are in the living room taking disco lessons. and, and I was pretty much, I mean, if it wasn't ACD or Black Sabbath or anything like that, I didn't listen to it. I just kind of went, I literally just went, oh my God. And I went, anyway. So,
Matt says we have to talk in character.
Oh, that's true. I'm gonna have to work on my mafia accent or my Italian accent, whatever accent it is.
Now for Joe, Kim won't let him have a tracksuit, but Joe is Italian. So
since I'm in a snarky mood, Joe, just take this. Do they make them that small?
And Jake's Canadian tuxedo. Yeah. Saturday Night Craze. Yes. So much fun stuff.
I haven't had this much fun on the show since we talked about doing our breakfast cereal episode.
That was epic.
Which I believe we need to do again.
Dude, you don't have to twist my arm. I love cereal.
Yeah.
I eat it for dinner. Pink one. Anywho. Something else I've added to my hobby desk since we're going full crazy. I actually had to go out and buy a Blu-ray player.
What?
Yeah. So one of the things I started doing is I started buying old movies, old retro movies. And for the most part, DVDs are relatively easy. But a lot of the old movies that I'm liking, they've actually released onto Blu-ray, and they do like director cuts, and they're doing actor profiles. They're just adding more to it. And it's like, but my computer doesn't play Blu-rays. I'm like, you have to go out and get a special Blu-ray player and use a program. I'm like, why don't I just go buy a compact Blu-ray player and I'll just hook that up separately. So that's what I've done. And it's actually helped me out a lot with my painting, because now I just play a movie, no commercial interruptions. Nothing's changed about the movie. Like I don't have to deal with any YouTube commercials or streaming commercials or anything like that.
I thought I would have gone with Laserdisc, but same thing. So,
but now I got my Blu-ray, so now I can just watch Blu-ray movies, and it's like a timing mechanism. I pick a movie I want to watch, I put it on, and then I paint while the movie's on. I got my computer screens right here, and then when the movie's over, my painting's done.
So in other words, you literally just copied what I've been doing for years.
Yes, but I had to buy a Blu-ray player. And I think we broke Jake.
Jake was broken long before our show.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, but it's actually been very good, keeping me motivated with yes, I've got YouTube. First of all, watching YouTube videos, I got to get away from that, because most YouTube videos are 10 minutes to 15 minutes long anymore, and I spend more time looking. Yeah, well, and I've got to find more. I spend more time looking for a YouTube channel, and then watching movies on YouTube is doable, but they're highly edited because of nudity laws, like all their rules and restrictions, and they've commercials, and I'm not going to spend $50 a month to have a YouTube paid account. So it's just easy. It was cheaper for me, and that was like $50. I just got a Blu-ray player. It's compact. It's the same size as my Mac Mini on my desk, and I just let it go. Everything's blown up on the thing, so I better look at that.
Well, Tim, the trick to that is watching a movie you've already seen. Yeah, because that's what I do. I don't watch anything new, because I do the same thing. I stare at the screen the whole time. But what I do is I'll put in a movie that I really enjoy, and then I can follow along and listen to it and follow along in my head as I'm painting.
Yes.
So I don't have to keep looking up. But now, speaking of movies, just so everyone know, in July, I will not be available on the weekend of July 25th.
Okay.
Until probably the week after.
Okay.
Because the movie I've been waiting my entire life for, and will probably die after seeing it, Fantastic Four, is coming out. And I may actually try to beat what I did with Star Wars, because I saw Star Wars on its first run 52 times in the cinema.
Yes.
I will probably try to beat that with this movie, because the trailer looks fantastic, and I am insane about this movie.
So insane that you actually went out and bought the VHS of the original Fantastic Four, which was terrible.
I have the VHS of the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Yes.
I have it on DVD, and I found it on Blu-ray, and I owned all three of those. And I still watch them regularly because I am a Fantastic Four nut. I don't mind the Jessica Alba 2 that they did. They weren't great. The third one, I forgot. That's not even that's not even that. But the new trailer for Fantastic Four, I have watched probably 100 times.
Yeah.
And I am right now in my head, I'm going perfection. They've got Ben Grimm, the Thing, absolutely correct because of doing the whole John Byrne kind of a look. The whole thing just looks absolutely fantastic. Just fantastic, and I cannot wait for this movie to come out. So that weekend, I'll be gone. I will be in a cinema that entire weekend. I guarantee it. So,
well, just keep us posted.
I will absolutely do that.
Joe brings up a good point, and this is why I'm going out collecting physical media. Is you get all the director's commentary and the extra things, and I'm finding that more enjoyable than just watching a movie. Is checking out all of the behind the scenes, and especially when you start getting into the '80s, like the Roger Corman movies. Sure. When you start learning about how they made the sets using stuff from McDonald's, the old styrofoam, and how they reuse things, and it's kind of fun to go watch. Even though Roger Corman, some of his movies are little.
Well, they're Roger Corman films.
They're Roger Corman films, but they're no different than what we call historical fiction now. Right. Let's not talk about Outlander and some of the other stuff. They show the same amount of nudity. Yep. But it's just fun to watch the reuse sets and all the cool stuff, and how he basically took whatever was hot at the time. Forbidden Planet is just a ripoff of Aliens, but it's the best damn ripoff of Aliens you're going to find.
Planet?
Yeah.
Forbidden Planet came
Forbidden World. Forbidden World.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
Forbidden World.
Forbidden Planet started it all.
Yeah.
That movie still holds up. I love that film. So.
Yeah, we've been having and then Jake brings up gently used but not broken. That's all I'm doing is I'm going to like Zia and Bookman's. If it's over $5, I probably ain't gonna buy it.
No, I quite frankly, I cannot put a director's commentary edition in and sit and watch it. No. But when I'm painting, I'll throw that in, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just awesome. JP's talking about the home film projectors. Yeah, Shortcut Star Wars got a whole movie night. Yeah. Can't watch. See, it's not for everybody, Tim. But I'm having fun. Jake, that's where Jake listens to music, and that used to be my go-to is just to put on a good CD. But then I pick up my bass and start playing my bass, and then I forget to paint. So movies became more of a thing.
Yeah, Reed Richards having facial hair is not a big deal for me. So I'm not minding it. I didn't even mind when I know the thing that's driving me nuts now is I can't think of the actor's name that's playing Ben Grimm, but they're talking about his voice isn't right. And I'm like, I read many comics for Fantastic Four. I don't ever remember hearing anything.
Yeah.
I don't have any kind of predetermination.
I guess unless you're comparing it to like one of the other Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, I'm stoked for this movie. I think the casting is perfect. I'm loving the fact that you've got Galactus. They've got, from everything I've read, Watcher showing up. There's a great little Watcher preview in there as well. Mole Man is rumored to be making an appearance, which fits in perfectly. So I'm nuts. I'm nuts for this movie. So,
Aaron's talking about how his computer went down in November and he didn't get it back till mid-January, so he was stuck watching regular TV. And there's a lot of the regular TV, over-the-air TV has gotten a lot better. I think.
Yeah, that's what I have.
We got sucked into the cable machine of having the cable and everyone doing everything on cable, and we kind of drifted away. But over the air, when it went to that digital format, I'm sure it's in Maryland. I got rid of like regular antenna type television.
Yeah.
We still have that hooked up at our house, and we still watch a lot of regular TV, and it's fine. Like,
yeah, and Tim, the Silver Surfer is going to make an appearance, but not the one you're thinking about. not the Norin Rand. I think I can't. I think I got his name right. Not that Silver Surfer. There's a silver version of a female version of Silver Surfer that supposedly is making an appearance. So
yeah, we'll see.
yeah, but I'm stoked for it. I mean, I even accepted the fact that they put Herbie in it, which I believe was Herbie, the little robot guy from the animated series. Which I think it's really cool. I'm just stoked for this movie. Quite frankly, in my lifetime, it's probably the last chance I have a great Fantastic Four film.
There you
go. I've watched my Facebook feed. I have a really lovely picture, a little post where I found out why I don't have any room for anything else. I had all my thing models on the shelf. I have too many things.
You have an award winning.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. My memory doesn't allow me to bring up those names, Joe. Thank you for backing me up. So
yeah. Well, it'll be fun. It's fun to be excited about a movie. Definitely need to ignore people if it's and we've talked about this.
Yeah. I haven't been this excited for a movie since Star Wars.
Yeah.
This movie is, for me, growing up, Fantastic Four was my escape. I mean, I read all Marvel comics. I didn't read a lot of DC, and I followed several titles, but the Fantastic Four and the X-Men were basically my entertainment when I was younger. And yeah, so Fantastic Four, I just can't wait for this movie.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I might actually go watch it. I'm not like Fantastic Four is nothing in my world. It's not what I got into or anything like that. But maybe this will be the thing that draws me in. You never know.
Yeah.
But don't get stuck in the fandom rabbit hole. Yeah. Dune.
Dune, that's pretty good. I actually enjoyed it.
2 Dune movies. Are they going to do any more for Dune?
Yeah, there's a third one coming. I'm not sure when.
Okay. It's going to be like a trilogy type thing.
No, yeah. So no, the Fantastic Four has been. I mean, I've got pretty much every version of the thing made back in the day. I've got some 3D printed stuff, and I just can't wait for this film. So I will be disappearing that weekend.
All right. Well, Jeff will be broke because he's going to rewatch a movie 100 times at the theater, which means he'll be eating at the theater, which means he'll be broke.
You make it sound unhealthy.
No, it's theater food is really good for you.
You can survive on popcorn and pretzel nuggets.
I do.
Absolutely.
We still go to the movie theaters and buy the big bag of popcorn for like $15 and just sit at home and chomp on it for a week.
Well, that's the other thing. Imagine how I'm going to be able to come down on streaming. I'm going to be like, woohoo, here we go.
Joe's going to be your new co-host for the Fantastic Four. I could see us. I'm envisioning like we'll both go out and watch it. Like I'll suck it up. I haven't gone to the movie theater since COVID. I'll suck it up and I will actually go in public and watch a movie, and then we'll come back and we'll do like a movie review. We'll do a Mike and Jeff movie review of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. The movie takes place on an alternate Earth because they're still in the whole multiverse thing, and it does take place on that Earth in the 60s, and it's kind of a Jetson sci-fi, futuristic thing, and apparently at some point they make it to our universe, and I'm just stoked for this film.
Can't wait. All right, I will join you in that venture.
Well, the other thing though about that is what you mentioned. I think that's one of the things that make you and I work so well as far as doing this is that we're not in lockstep on every single topic.
No.
That we can actually go, oh, wait a minute, so it's actually kind of cool.
We're not lockstep on every but we still have that general understanding. As long as you enjoy it,
yeah.
That's it. Like you enjoy the new Star Wars stuff, yay, good for you. I enjoy the older Star Wars. It's like Metallica. I always like to relate it to Metallica.
But the other difference in that is though, even if there's something like, for example, if this Fantastic Four film does not meet my expectations, I won't like it. But I'm not going to sit and go, oh my God, they've destroyed my childhood.
No.
Because that whole, because at the end of the day, it's not my creation, it's someone else's.
Yeah.
And they're going to do with it what they want to do with it. And I can accept that. I can be okay with it. I'll either enjoy it or I won't. And if I won't, I'll see it one time and move on.
Yeah.
But so many, I get tired of so many people. They'll see something. Oh, the new Star Wars destroyed my childhood. Or, this isn't my Star Wars.
And we see it with Warhammer 40K.
Oh yeah. God, don't get
That's why I relate it to Metallica, because Metallica is a metal band that spans a genre of music that I love, which is, they started as a thrash metal band.
Yeah.
But because of their Cliff Burton at the beginning was very creative musically, they started exploring new things, doing new things, going in a new direction. Then Cliff passed. Jason came in. I still think Injustice for All is their best album. But I'm an old Metallica fan. I don't really like a lot of the newer Metallica stuff, but I don't think they suck for it. I think they just grew in a direction that I did not grow with them.
Yeah.
And I still like the older style music.
I just remember when they cut their hair, people lost their mind.
I know. It was like, when they cut their hair, a lot of people poo-poo the Black Album. I think the Black Album is good. It's a good rock metal album. It's got some great songs on it. They made millions of dollars off it, so obviously people liked it. It's like people that bash Nickelback. It's like, how can you possibly bash Nickelback? They're a band, put out music, they sold millions of albums. How could you possibly, are you doing that? No, then shut up. Anyway, you got me on a subject that I don't like.
Again, here's the cool part. We start off, this last half of the show, talk conversation, we start off with my passion for Fantastic Four. Now we're talking about Metallica, and that's great. Who knows? I may end up talking about diapers. I have no idea. We always end up there. And Jake's got a great theory about what happened.
They all died in a plane crash. After the Black Album, things they changed in a way I wasn't happy with. And
they grew as artists. They grew as a band.
And I have a theory for it.
Yeah.
Success softens the metal guys. Any bands that got really successful in metal kind of softened once they had success because they weren't hungry, hitting the bars, hitting the clubs, touring together. Metal you need to be a gang. You need to be this unit working together, keeping that. And as bands like Slayer still keeps it real, but a lot of the metal bands got softer as time went on. And
most bands start off with just a passion for making music.
Yeah.
And they usually identify with what type of music it is. But like most people, as you grow, those likes, dislikes, and passions change.
Right.
And you also, as you always say, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So there are times, AC/DC has never really changed. They still only play the 3 songs that they wrote originally, and they just change the words to them. don't get me wrong, I love AC/DC. But you can identify an AC/DC song pretty quick.
Yeah. Mastodon, Maiden. Maiden's another one of those bands.
Yeah.
But I still I like newer Maiden just as much as I like older Maiden. But they have evolved their style and tried new things. But I think Metallica is just the one that gets the most divisive. I think Maiden fans are Maiden fans. We just love Maiden.
Well, it's also it goes back to what you and I have talked about before. What someone decides to spend their free time, their disposable cash, whatever it happens to be, whatever they decide to invest in with their physical time and everything else, it almost becomes evangelical.
Yeah.
So when that changes, it really is a deep disruption. I mean, it's like with miniature gaming. People get into it. They spend their spare money on it. They spend their spare time on it. And to them, it's their way of relaxing. And it becomes more than just a hobby, really. It gets kind of rooted in your brain. So when things change dramatically, people have a tendency to panic. People freak out. It's like, the whole female custodes thing. I'm so tired of that.
Powers to that. Awesome album. I want to touch base on JP's comment real quick. First of all, it depends on which Garage Inc. album you're talking about, because there was 2 Garage Inc. Metallica albums. There was the original one that they released when Jason Newsted joined the band, and I'm a Jason Newsted fan. So there's that one. And then they did another one later where they added in Motorhead out songs. They did a bunch of covers. That's where they did Bob Seger's Turn the Page. Some of those songs are really good, but it is just a revise. And no, I did not like Saint Anger.
What is Mark talking about here?
Mike is playing the blues as a young guy. You just haven't been through enough life changes to be able to channel the blue emotions properly. Okay. Or I'm just locked in the 80s.
I wish you knew more about music, Mike, because it's kind of annoying that you don't. And I have to just carry the show when it comes to music. Wait, that's
Hey, I'm Motorhead still, like, I own everything Lemmy's put out, even all the he didn't put out.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I own a little bit of Motorhead.
Just a bit.
Yeah. But Motorhead's a kind of, to me, a fascinating band because most people just know Motorhead for Ace of Spades. Like, they don't really know a lot about Motorhead. They may have bought that album. There's some great Road Crew is such a killer song on that album. Softening. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Now I got it. So, but I think some of the best work Lemmy ever put out was his last 3 albums. I think the last 3 albums were just phenomenal for Motorhead, but by that time, like radio friendly, he was done with the radio game.
Right.
Like, he was a touring god. Like, that's how Lemmy was all about the tour.
And everybody knows the best Motorhead song is "In the Ear of the Wolf." I mean, come on. So.
That's probably one of your top songs on your playlist.
It absolutely is.
Yes.
But the other thing you and I have in common, we both have pop figures from our favorite musical artists.
Yes. Well, I have.
Who's mine?
I've got Lemmy in my studio, but I also have Bob Ross, because you got to have both.
Yeah, but what's my heavy metal pop rock Funko?
Well, it's AC/DC.
Absolutely, Angus Young, baby.
Yes, you got the Angus.
And actually, the pop figure's almost to scale. Because that's one of the first things I remember the first time I saw them in concert. Those guys are short. They're little.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think a lot, like Mark's saying, yeah, some of them haven't. They've softened.
But the thing about it is, we spend. I mean, we talk about the show, we talk about miniatures a lot, but it's really about hobbies.
Yeah,
because we talk about entering the hobby zone, and when you invest your money, you invest your time, you invest all this stuff you have into what you do in your free time, it becomes important to you. And some people just get really kind of wrapped up in that. And go like country and western. Riders and Horizons, country.
That's what I stand away from the mob.
Yeah.
I don't care what reviewers are saying. I'm going to go judge, and that's what I guess the point of the conversation is.
Yeah.
Don't let people poo-poo the Fantastic Four. It's your fandom. Go make your own educated decision on what you think the movie's like. If you love it, love it. Yeah. If you're meh, you know what? Don't shit on it for somebody else.
Yeah, because quite frankly, The 13th Warrior is the best Space Wolf movie ever made.
See?
And that's all that matters.
And Starship Troopers is the best sci-fi movie ever made.
It is. It is. I didn't believe that until I started hanging with you, and now I'm like totally convinced.
This is the best sci-fi movie ever made. So
another mouth. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. Oh my God. I might have mentioned this. We went to Zia. We were just out, we hit the Zia in Mesa when we go to a craft show, and they had a complete selection of all of the Tremor movies. Right. Now, do you remember Tremors? Good morning.
I do remember Tremors.
Do you know how many movies they made for Tremors?
There's like 6 or something. Yeah, huge number.
There's 6 Tremor movies.
I do not own them all, but I have watched them all.
I own them all now, and I'm going to watch them all because...
I have several like that. Death Race is another one. There's several Death Race movies out there.
Yes.
That are just campy fun.
Roger Corman produced one of them.
I
think it's 2050.
I'm a big fan of Roger Corman. I really am.
I love him
because he made movies that so it's just the Tremor movies they're actually really good. Starship Troopers initially, quite frankly, what really turned me around on Starship Troopers was you, because I didn't realize there was all the additional sequels as well as and so it's like I started watching. All right, now this is kind of cool.
Yeah, you got like human, like regular movies. You got like 3 of them, but then the 4th one is anime, and I'm like, some of the best anime. Like,
good stuff.
But it brings back the Starship Troopers, and again, What's also funny about Starship Troopers is it has nothing to do with the book other than title.
Right.
Like, because Starship Troopers, the book, is actually, it's not the most exciting book to read. It's really just about, it was kind of a satire about military life,
Right.
And
Right.
about military structure and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and the
Do
game.
you know when I learned the lesson about not going with the mob?
What's
My
that?
life was when they announced, and this is back before the internet, any of that crap. When they announced Michael Keaton was playing Batman,
Yeah,
everybody lost their minds.
Well, because he wasn't like he was a
he was viewed publicly as a comic actor.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, until Ben Affleck took over the Batman role, Michael Keaton was my Batman. And now actually Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman.
There you go. JP's talking about Starship Troopers being an Imperial Guard movie. Correct.
It absolutely is.
Very much so. Mega Force the other day. You need to get that on DVD. Very cool. There's actually a Japanese produced Starship Troopers anime. Yes, I own that.
Yeah.
You're talking about the series. And
because Mike likes to spend my money, I own it too.
It's a good series of movies or cartoons or anime.
Rex
shows the page.
Yeah, well, Rex could not get through the new movie, which I find surprising. But yeah, I have not seen the new Bob Dylan biopic, but I want to.
I heard it's good.
I heard it's good too.
And I like Bob Dylan. Like it's folky. I don't know. Is it folk art? Is it folk music? I don't know.
It's Bob Dylan music. That's
I guess that's why I'm struggling with it. Bob Dylan kind of created this whole genre of kind of music that is just completely separate from everything else.
Yeah.
Animated Starship Troopers. Yes, Roughnecks. Starship Troopers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff. Anyway.
Well, speaking of movies, do you know what movie I'm going to be watching later today?
What's that?
Wicked.
Oh, the new.
Yeah, I love me a good musical.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And here it just brings up something. Mumbling folk. He doesn't like Bob Dylan. Cool. It's Bob Dylan's not for everyone. I like his music. It's pretty good. I like Heaven, Knocking on Heaven's Doors. I think, I think he did it better than Guns N' Roses.
Right.
That's my opinion. I don't think Guns N' Roses did a very good job with that song. But a lot of people prefer the Guns N' Roses version. I prefer the Bob Dylan version.
Speaking of transition over time, I used to be with Jake on Bob Dylan. I didn't really care for it, care for his music. But as I've gotten older, I've become, I don't think that way anymore. Actually, I do enjoy it. I don't run out to make sure I have all the stuff. I'm not an obsessive fan about it, but I actually kind of enjoy it when I do hear it. So.
Yeah, I don't turn off the radio.
Yeah. But again, it just boils down to, like I said, back in, because me in my 20s is not the same as me now. And I have a lot of wider variety of tastes.
Mostly. Well, and I can say this, I don't like Ghost. Like Ghost is the new kind of metal-y kind of band.
Right.
Metallica brought them on tour. They blew up. They're a great band. For me, it's just not my thing. I got a couple of their first albums. They're good. It's good. It's just not my style. It's not what I listen to.
Jake just said, and it's mostly his voice for me. Not just Bob Dylan. One of my key indicators, because I do watch a lot of tutorial videos on painting and other stuff, and I don't know how many I go, your voice is annoying me, and I move on. I can't.
Voice and fingernails. Fingernails are a thing for you.
But I've reversed myself on that.
Oh yeah, okay.
I have. Now the reason for it is I got to know her.
Okay.
And watch her other stuff. Okay, I was being the guy that we're now causing. I was being that guy, and that's what I went. And I started watching her YouTube channel, and she's a sweetheart.
Yes.
And I love her to death. And I regret my obstinance because I was vocal. I was the guy we're talking about. I was like, this is ridiculous. Get a manicure. And then I'm like, so that's actually a low point for me. I shouldn't have done that. That was rude of me.
Well, we've carried on for way too long.
But that's what makes it cool. We didn't even realize it.
Yes, we lost track of time and we didn't cut ourselves off at 8:30.
But now our bladders are going, stop.
that we're old guys, so bladders aren't an issue. Plus,
yeah.
I drink coffee and water throughout the whole show. So
What I'm really enjoying about our progression of age while we do the show is I'm still not as gray on top as you are.
well, I'm growing my hair out. So yeah,
oh, sure, whatever. I'm not old.
Well, look at all this gray.
Look, I don't have any color in my beard anymore. I'm going to double this. This year, I am doing something really weird at Christmas. I'm going to put on a Santa suit, and I'm just going to walk around the neighborhood.
All right.
And just say hi to kids. Hand out some presents. Do something cool.
You should do it on Halloween.
No. I don't like blending my holidays.
All right, everybody. We're going to cut out of here.
They're all going, finally, stop talking.
Stop talking. You all have a great weekend. We bladders are full, so we're going to jump. We'll talk to you all next weekend.
I used to get catheterized, Jake, but that was just too much work. He said you guys aren't wearing pull-ups. So.
Not yet. Give us time.
The Shatner I'm offended.
All right.
I think my friendship with FH has just ended.
I don't.
That's not.
I don't think words could end that friendship.
I don't think so either.
All right, everybody. We'll see you all next weekend.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.